Well, it's shoulder season. The time of year where you're transitioned from sinking into the mud and cruising smooth on top of the ice. It's been a couple of weeks and I'm definitely getting a little bit of cabin fever and feeling antsy to get into town and get some fresh supplies. But luckily it's been freezing the last few nights, and I'm gonna go out and check the trail and see if it's frozen enough for me to get out of here yet so I can get to town and get some more bacons, some beans, and some ice creams. Yeah, it's a great time of year. It's the time of year where things are getting frosty, frozen. Look at this, huh? Yeah, it's a frosty little world. It did freeze last night. I'm gonna go out and check this muskeg by my house here and take a look how the ice is doing. It gets really difficult to get to town, so I limit my town trips kind of once a week. But then there's a time of year where it starts freezing. Obviously, once it freezes, it's Shangri-La. It's like incredible because I can take the tracks off my wheeler. I can do supply runs. I can do gas runs, bigger gas runs, haul materials. That's great. But there's a transition period where right when the ice starts forming, it's not thick enough to support a wheeler yet. And you try to go out and you break through on your wheeler, and then your tires go under the ice and you get stuck and you can't get above the ice. You got to take an axe and chop the ice out from in front and winch, and it's bad. And like, it's the time of year where honestly, like if something really bad were to go wrong and I had to get to town in an emergency situation, it's the toughest time to get to town because that ice, you're just fighting that thin ice. Once the ice is sturdy and strong and you're on top of the ice with a wheeler can support that, in and out's not a problem, then I'm gonna see if I can support my foot weight. And every day it freezes. It takes about 3 days of 25 degrees. And it usually is enough to lock up most of the stuff that I have to drive on. You can't take a truck, but you can take a six-wheeler. So here we are. We're coming into the muskeg here. Let's see. Here's our first test. Oh no. I mean, it kind of started to support my weight, but and then it didn't. So it's crunchy, which is good. But you know, kind of first test is, can you walk on it? Okay. Then I'll take my bike. Then if it can support that, then I check the four-wheeler, which is lighter than my six-wheeler. I can take my four-wheeler. I can't haul a lot of materials on my four-wheeler, but at least, you know, I can get some bacon and some beans, haul some flour and whatnot, not have to carry it on my pack. And then once it supports the four-wheeler, then the big test is when I do my six-wheeler. And if it holds, it's an exciting time always, because it's like the ice cracks underneath you. You know, it'll support your weight, but sometimes it'll give way and sometimes it won't. So it's just that sound. You just hear that cracking and you're just like, oh, you know, it's not like you're gonna fall 100 feet into the bottom of the earth or anything, but it feels like that. It's exciting. Oh, here's another little test spot here. It's not super frozen yet, but like I said, it takes a little bit of time. Beautiful morning light here. Sun's coming up a little later every day. Actually, it's coming up almost 6 minutes a day. We're losing right now. So we're losing about 6 minutes of daylight. And that makes it colder and colder. Longer nights, shorter days. Ice stays longer. We like that. We like it. It's just a beautiful morning. Oh, oi, ah. So we got maybe an inch of ice here, which is really good actually. Breaking through, but it's a slow thing, and really, I don't remember what the measurement chart is, but there is a chart that I refer to, along with wind chill and stuff, of how much ice it takes to support how much weight. Obviously, for a pickup truck, you need like a foot or two of ice. But I think it's like 2 inches for human weight, if I recall correctly. I mean, an inch is kind of holding it, but as you can see, it's kind of iffy. But you know. So so far we know that it's supporting my weight in some spots. It's cracking. It sounds bad, but if you keep moving, you make it over it once. You try to come back and go back over it that same day, and you fall into the abyss. But some of these mud holes that I got to deal with on the wheeler are 3 or 4 feet deep, and you break through one of those, and that's when you get into trouble. Oh yeah, here's a good test spot. These, nope, hey, just not quite for the foot weight. What about this guy? Oh yeah, it's working. It's working. Oh, it's not working. But hey, just like when you were a kid, walking around, breaking ice puddles, keeps you young. This kind of behavior, I tell you. And honestly, sometimes your foot pressure, pounds per square inch. Sometimes the bike will actually disperse the weight better, and I can go over a little bit thinner ice than I can on foot. So we'll head back and get the bike out and take a look. All right, almost back to the bike. We'll jump on the bike and head out. It's working. Oh yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, look at this little snow. All right, let's go see if this ice can support a bike. Oh yeah. It's working. It's working. Just a little person riding across. Isn't the sound of ice? Ah, it's beautiful. Oh. Thin spot. For the most part, I'm pretty impressed. It's holding my weight, bike weight. There's some overflow there. And the guy gets kind of accustomed to reading the ice because there's signs of where there's thin spots. There's little inlets of running water or little open holes where it's thawed out. Obviously, stay away from that. Stay away from the edges. But you learn how to read the ice, and then your moment of glory comes. Look at this. I mean, come on. Cruising along a cool 6, 7, 8 miles an hour with one hand on a bike on the ice. It's making me nervous. But man, this is definitely working. This is great. I'll have to stop and take my coat off. Whew, making good time. I'll get your blood pumping. Well, overall, I'd say it's bike worthy. I'm sure there's a few hot spots out there still there's like warmer sections, little springs that come up out of the ground and stuff, and those are the ones you got to watch out for all year. Sometimes even in a really good cold winter, that spot will just won't freeze up. So you always got to know where those spots are at, those hazards. But for the most part, the bike's feeling pretty steady. Might let the sun go down tonight, see what kind of temperatures we get this evening. And then in the morning, if it was a good cold night, try out the four-wheeler, and I mean, what could go wrong? It's time to go back to a cozy fire, have a little snack. Oh, rest these weary bones. Ha, come on. Not super cold, but 27 degrees is pretty fair. I'll take it. Hopefully a little wind is blowing out there on the muskegs, and we'll have some hard ice tomorrow. Don't just spend the whole day getting stuck. But now it's time to go cozy up by the fire. I'm so excited. It's like Christmas. Wow. Well, the good thing about real Christmas is that when you wake up, it's actually Christmas. Woke up this morning here, and that is, I mean, it's snowing, which is kind of cool, but it's wet. I mean, it's curious. It must be like 32, maybe even 33. It's right there at 32. Barely hanging on, and it's nasty out. We got the wind, which is good, but that's about it. And the ice, the snow on top, it's gonna be getting weaker, getting more rotten. I don't know. Today's not the day. Man, one more night of solid freeze and it would have been, even if it rained, you know, once it gets to that frozen point, it can rain on top of it and the ice won't melt. But right now, right now I'm just gonna go inside and put some more wood in the fire. Let this little storm pass, and then we'll have to see what the ice is doing then. But if I wanted to go to town right now, I'd have to walk about an hour and a half through some ice and mud and snow and rain. It's nasty out. Whew. One, two, three. Good job. Come on. Let's go cuddle up and read a book. Well, you can't stay inside all day. Well, you can't hide from weather. I mean, you can. Sounds pretty nice. Been doing it most of the day, actually. But you gotta get water, and it is what it is. I figure we can do two birds, one stone. We can go get water, which is crucial for surviving, and we can check the ice. Who knows? Maybe it's harder than I think. Maybe it froze a little bit more. I mean, it didn't start snowing until early this morning, so maybe the four-wheeler, maybe. If we can make it to the spring and back and not break through and get stuck, I'll be very happy. People always say, how do you deal with the long winter months in Alaska? Get outside every day. Every day. Doesn't matter the weather. Get outside. Force yourself outside. Get outside. I guarantee when I come back to the cabin, it's going to be amazing and warm and cozy, and I'm going to feel so productive. Even though the only thing I'm really going to do today is check some ice and get some water, I'm going to feel like accomplished, and I'm going to sit inside with that nice wood stove going, eating my soup and just being like, yeah, baby, we did it. All right. Let's ride. Holy cow. It is raining frozen cats and dogs. Oh, come on. All I gotta do is go get water. That's why I go and get like firewood when it's not pouring rain and snowing. You always pick your good days to do good things, but sometimes it's a miserable day and you have to do it. You don't have a choice. You gotta go get water. You can't give up on that. One day at a time, you know. Some days are better than others. Some days, most days, are a lot of hard work. Almost lost a water jug there, but the bungee cord, it's staying on. I ain't stopping now, man. Holy cow, it's just slush. So I got a little spring. It's actually a cement culvert dug down in, and mostly use it as kind of my backup reserve for like higher volume, getting water for the garden, whatnot. I mean, drinking water, I tried in the summertime. I crawled down in the canyon and just get a gallon or something, but when I need a bigger amount and the ice isn't quite frozen enough to make it over to the big nice spring with the garden hoses where it's nice and easy, then then we come here, and this is a good spring too. Good water, just a little harder to get to, but you can see back here, you know, this is what we're dealing with. That mud's just right underneath. And here you got the ice, and then here, see, soft tundra. Ice, soft tundra. Here we are. Nothing too glorious, as you can see. Okay. 10 gallons of water lasts me a while, really. Ain't got a lot of dishes to do. Don't got much laundry. Pretty much just drinking water, water for soup. I got the rain encatchment, which is handy and great, which I use for all my laundry and showering, bathing out here and stuff. So dishes, drinking water really lasts quite a while, but here we are. Oh, come on, honey. Oh. It's wet. It's nasty. Basically, you just dip yourself down in here, hold the jug under, fill it up. Water level's high right now, which is a good thing. The water level will drop at different times of the year. And in the summer, when it's real dry, the spring kind of gets low, and the water level really drops down in here. And probably my biggest nightmare is my feet slipping out and falling into this thing head first, drowning. It's not big enough to turn around and get back out. Someday, somebody would come looking, and they would just find a pair of boots sticking out. The worst part, it'd contaminate the well. Okay. Well, I just learned something new. Evidently on my little phone here, when a raindrop hits the record button, it stops recording. So I just been out here mumbling, talking to myself for who knows how long. Which is nothing new, really. I kind of have a tendency to talk to myself anyway, so. This life ain't for everybody. A lot of people, I mean, it's one of the hardest jobs, living off the land. Living remote, off grid. Living in a city is tough work. I mean, growing a garden in your backyard, commuting, getting on traffic, just dealing with life. A boss you don't like. I mean, there's all kinds of challenges in life. My challenges happen to be getting water and firewood and making it back to my truck someday so I can go get more bacon and beans. So we're going to load up this other jug and then head down the trail, see see how it goes. Hopefully I make it back in time for dinner. There's a puddle. Oh yeah, there's ice under there. The bears aren't necessarily asleep yet. There's, the smart ones are, but there's always a couple of last stragglers, and I didn't bring my pistol to get comfortable close to the house and stuff, but I guess I could be the first person to defend myself with a selfie stick, maybe? Tip of the nose, by the way, really sensitive. You gotta stick anything, hell, a selfie thing like this, smack that thing on the nose, I don't know. That's, oh, my ride's here. I gotta get going. Waiting for it to freeze. Take the dogs for a walk. Oh man, it's 37 degrees in the woods right here. And then, if you just walk a little further out here, you can see the snow's holding out here. And right here, just 20 feet away, it's 34. So, just in 20 feet, a couple degrees makes a difference. And the snow turned into rain, and I ain't even bothering to try to go out and check if I can get out to my truck yet, because what's the point? I know that ain't ready. If it stops raining and clears up, one solid freeze overnight, I might have a chance. Otherwise, I don't know, I'm getting antsy. A little bit of cabin fever. Storm passed and it got colder, and it laid down a little blanket of snow, which is beautiful, but also insulative. Even just a couple inches of snow can really keep the cold out, and that doesn't help for getting things froze up good. So I'm going to go out on the four-wheeler now, a little farther, adventure around, grab some supplies in case I run into trouble, because I'm just smart enough to know what I need. So I'm going to grab my tools here, an axe for chopping ice. I'm going to get a rope come along that I can use for a winch, and my old boat anchor, which I can use for an anchor, because sometimes if there's not a tree out in the middle of a muskeg, there's nothing to tie yourself off to winch out of. So having a boat anchor that you can sink into the earth is a little trick that I learned years ago. It's pretty handy. So we're going to load up all that stuff and head out and see if it's froze up enough for the wheeler. Make it too far. Jeez. I don't think I'm stuck by any means right now, but that really put a damper on things. Well, yeah, there you go. Not frozen. Hell, I didn't even make it 100 yards out into the muskeg. you know, an inch of ice-ish, inch and a half maybe if I'm being generous, but not enough to support the wheeler, and the muskeg's not frozen itself either. You know, like I can stand on it. If I jumped up and down, then maybe not. I don't know. You know, but there's still just that water underneath. Rain and moisture, it definitely wreaked havoc. And now, oh, see, I mean, we're just, you know, now it looks like everything's fine. And you're just walking along and you're having a great day and you're like, oh, I'll just walk out. And then as you go, you're like, "Hey!" And you just sink into the abyss. Bummer, man. Just freeze already. Hey! Man, just an inch of snow, and it insulates that just enough to keep it from getting really frozen good. This is not ideal. Ugh. And then it's like harder to walk on stuff like this. You know, when there's no snow, you can see where the ice is, avoid the ice, stay on the high ground. But when it's like this, you don't know where anything is, and you're like, oh, it just looks so smooth and flat. And then whammo, you're breaking through the ice. And this is why I brought my axe along and stuff, because I think I'll be able to back out of this. But yeah, this kind of shelf, your tire will go down and then you'll run into that ice shelf and you won't be able to get out. So you got to take your axe and chop along in front and chop the ice out in front of your tire until you can finally get that tire up on top and get back up on top of the ice again. And then you go 20 feet and it happens again. So times a year like this where you go into town and you see just 5, 6, 7, 8 cars, trucks in the ditches. Everybody forgets how to drive all summer somehow, and the snow comes, and the newbies and the greenhorns, of course, they first time driving in snow, they're the first ones off the road. Then you got the overconfident Alaskans that are like, I got 4-wheel drive in my truck, studded tires, and they hit a slick patch on the pavement and black ice. They're in the ditch. That's why I always carry a good tow rope, so I can get towed out, or if somebody else is in the ditch, I can return the favor and tow them out. So for now, there's my sad wheeler sitting in the puddle. Now, if I was to leave this wheeler just sitting here overnight, the way it is, that thing would be frozen into the ground and stuck until spring. I've never had it happen, but I've helped other people that have been in the same situation and their wheeler got stuck. And actually one guy in a pickup truck tried to drive his pickup truck out in the middle of nowhere. Truck broke through, boom. He went to town, told the tale, yeah, I'm gonna go back tomorrow. I went back in the morning and it was frozen. It got down into like the single digits that night, and got some friends of his with big wheelers and stuff, and they went to pull them off and ripped the truck right off the chassis. How about that? So you don't want to let something like this sit overnight. Come on. Oh yeah. Nice and easy. Hard to be patient this time of year, but you go out right now and you break up all the ice and you spend all your energy and calories fighting your way through the wilderness, and then it does freeze really hard, and then instead of having a nice smooth ice road to drive on, you got this broken, busted up bumpy ass road that beats you up until it snows enough for the snow machine. So that's why I kind of try to just plan on this time of year not going anywhere and wait until it's good and frozen. Then if it doesn't snow for a while, at least I can enjoy a smooth ice road until it does, but we'll see. Oh yeah. Time to dump out the rain barrel before the bottom of it freezes. But for now, get some more dishwater. This could be the last buckets of the year. Oh yeah. It's a little rowdy. I tell you what, even with the weed burner, you would think you'd just stick that into there, brush pile, and walk away, but there's so much airspace in between the sticks and everything, and the moisture and the wetness. It's just, I've found this is the best way to light a big pile of wet stuff on fire. Costs you a little bit of good dry house wood, but it's worth it. And then once this thing is raging, you just find anything you can burn within miles and feed the fire. Clear some land. Hope that it gets cold, nice freeze tonight. $16 this morning. I'm making a run for it. In case the ice is solid, I'm just gonna go get to the truck because I'm ready. I'm ready. It's either gonna work or it ain't. We're gonna find out. Here we are again. The first one that broke through. Oh man. Oh, that's a good sign. Check out where I got stuck yesterday. Oh man, that's rock hard right there. Yes. Let's take a little walk down here. Let's see that. A little moisture under there. There's a little crack there. Oh yeah, there's water under there. And wind chill right now, it's got to be about 5 degrees. Don't want to deal with getting stuck, but man, beautiful morning though. Look at that. We got the sunrise moonset. Moon's coming. Getting ready to go to bed. Well, as they say, it's time to crap or get off the pot, and this could turn into one hell of a day. Certainly cold. Oh man. Woo! Ooh. Oh. Been going pretty good so far, but just rallied through that one. Problem is that there's these drainages and ruts and water's still moving underneath the ice and snow. So you find these little spots. Luckily, you know, that's why I crossed here, because this ditch isn't very wide, so I broke through, but I was able to keep my momentum and go through the other side. But all I know is I made it through, so I'm pushing on. But you know, you want to watch out for stuff like that. I hope that's the worst of it. Man, face is cold, hands are cold, feet are cold. All right, come on, let's do it. Yes, yes, solid ground. Woo! I made it to solid ground. There's one more spot right before my truck that I'm kind of worried about. That'll be the final spot. There's kind of, you can't go into the forest, you can't go left, you can't go right. You gotta go over this one really deep mud hole, and fingers crossed the last mud hole is passable. Maybe I'll check it on foot first, chop through the ice a little bit. I really don't want to get stuck in that one. I'd rather leave the wheeler right in front of the mud hole, not stuck, and just walk the last quarter mile than fall in through the ice and have it maybe freeze in while I go to town. So far so good, but we ain't out of it yet. So close. So close yet so far. Look, I just literally have to make it right over there. Man, if I break through right now, I'm going over my boots. I think I'm gonna get my axe, chop the ice, see if I got a few inches, and if I do, go over it carefully and hope for the best and make it to the truck. Man, I've never wanted to make it to my truck so bad. Well, I have, but it's been a while. See what we got. And check the frame. Oh, there's water. Just like that. Getting my hands cold, but I gotta measure the ice here. 3 inches. 3 inches. 3 inches. 3 inches should be enough. I mean, I put a hole in it, and it's still holding stable. 3 inches. You know, other places it could be 5 inches, and other places it's half an inch. So, but knowing that I got 3 inches gives me a little bit of confidence for things in front of me. I'm just gonna roll over them. Let's give it a try. What the hell? I'm gonna go for medium speed. Yes, 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 yes. Made it. Look at that. We gotta keep rolling. We're almost there. There's still a lot of water flowing out of the muskegs. larger creeks. You gotta really know where to get around. Oh man. Piece of pizza. Maybe some ice cream. Pound of butter. A couple pounds of bacon. Oh yeah, there she is. Woo! Come on now. Come on, baby. Oh yeah. Success. Time to get on the get-go. Go to town. Man. Well, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. So stay safe out there. Stay warm. Stay happy. Stay humble. We'll see you down the trail. French fries, hamburger, slice of pizza, ice cream. Oh yeah, I can't forget the bacon. Gotta have all the bacon.